Today on the BCast, I want to continue talking company culture. Company culture is the workings inside of a company to where the employees and management and leadership in the company work together in a family type environment where everyone serves everyone else and they all share the same common goals and the same common outcome for the company itself. Today I'm talking with Erica Estes. Her and her husband own a company in Northeast Alabama, and they are doing the same thing. Last time on the BCast, you saw an interview with Tina White, my friend and colleague, who, along with her husband, built a terrific culture at an HVAC business in the Birmingham area. I can tell you right now from personal experience that there is no better way to work on a day-to-day basis as a technician, as an administrator, as a team leader than to have a great company culture. When you put that together, along with people's dedication, you care about their life, about their happiness, about their fulfillment in their job, they care about the company as well. And when that happens, there is a huge, huge benefit to everyone involved in that. So I hope you enjoyed today's BCast. I'm speaking with Erica Estes from Southern Heating and Cooling in the Scottsboro, Alabama area. And she as well, her and her husband are trying to create that culture in their company, and it sounds to me like they're succeeding quite well. Let's see what you think. Thanks for tuning in. Erica, hi.
Hello.
How's everything going?
Good.
Good. Well, you have, we're from the Scottsboro area.
Yes.
I was going to tell everybody we're in Huntsville right now, by the way. We're at our Huntsville campus. I've never filmed anything up here, so this is kind of a first for me. And you're the first guest in Huntsville.
Well, good.
So congratulations.
Good.
Whatever that's worth.
Yeah, I worked in Huntsville for a long time, so that's good.
Well, that's what I was going to talk to you about first. Your professional background. Number one, you're a female in the HVAC industry now, but before that, what is your, I guess, background from career standpoint? What did you do?
Well, accounting, finance. Went to University of North Alabama and got a degree in accounting, and accounting really wasn't my thing, so I moved into corporate finance for a defense contractor over here in Huntsville, and worked for the corporate office out of San Diego, and then got into mergers and acquisitions, that type of thing. So that's really it in a nutshell. I did that for well over 10 years.
Okay.
And that was the last that I did before we went over and bought Southern Heating and Cooling.
Okay, all right. Well, just a little bit of disclosure here. I've known Brant, your husband, for quite a while, quite a few years actually. And he, in fact, went to work for Southern when I met him.
Right.
And how long has he been there total? Can you
He's
remember?
been there for pushing 10 years now, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So.
And we've recently met you.
Yes.
And brought you into our B-Train fold here a little bit.
That's right.
And so here's my question, Erica. I like to ask this question to just about anybody, and that is, why did you choose the air conditioning business to purchase and to get involved with, especially coming from your background?
Well, simply put, I have always, from a very young age, wanted to have my own business or run a business. I don't know. I mean, I might go back and change my mind about that a little bit now, but no, it's been great. And with Brant being up there with the Kasheks that had started Southern Heating and Cooling in '84.
Tony Kashek, I know him for a long, long time.
Yeah, and so after Brant had been there for a short period of time, Tony started talking to him about, look, I'm planning on, retiring sometime soon. Would you be interested, or do you know of anyone that would be interested? And Brand immediately, he remembered that that's something I always wanted to do. It was very different than anything I ever thought I would do. But so we talked about it. This was like a 2.5 year process for us to, really get down to the nitty gritty and get serious. And just went from there. I knew we would have our challenges, and we did. But we've gotten through it, and so far, I think it's been the right move for us.
Right. So you've been involved 2.5 years?
No, we're going on 5.
5 years now. Okay. So we'll kind of get that timeline out there. Since you talk about the challenge, that you have faced. I guess also, what's been your greatest accomplishment, do you think, at Southern since you and Brant have taken the helm?
Well, I knew going into it that someone that had no background in this industry would have one set of challenges, but the other set being a female coming in to an industry that is predominantly male. That's a whole another set of issues. But I think that it has taken time, but I have slowly gained the respect of everyone there at the office or in the shop, that works for us in whatever way. I feel like that that the guys will always have my back, and that's something that I always, I had hoped for, and I knew it would take time, but I think we're there. It doesn't mean we don't have our challenges, but I think we're there.
Yeah. What do you have anything specific that you worked on to cause this to start happening? Did you do anything different? Did you do anything that you normally out of character for you, or did you just show them who you were and this is how it's going to be?
I think staying true to my word. When we first took over, we had a meeting with everyone, just kind of went over some of the things, things are going to be the same, but things are going to change. We're not sending anyone to the house or anything like that. Looking back on it, maybe that's probably not the best choice of words. Should have made some of those changes, but they've all worked themselves out. But that, Brand and I came from an industry where our employers always took care of us, and in the construction industry, they don't get those benefits. A benefits package like what we had gotten before.
Sure.
So, we were up in their vacation time, we were up in their profit share or their retirement, and then we offered them profit sharing. If the company does well, they do well. We're not greedy people, and we're not successful, if they're not able to live and do things they enjoy. So you have to take care of your employees. And I think, having that meeting that morning, some of those guys are thinking, whatever, this is just somebody new coming in, it's the fluff, whatever.
Same old thing.
It is.
Different people.
It took some time, but we made those changes. And I think they're appreciated. And if I tell them that we're going to do something, we do it. And I think that just slowly over time, they've learned they can trust me, and they can come to me. In the past, I think they were afraid to come forward if there was something that they saw that they didn't like or was a problem or whatever. It was just pushed under, a rug.
Right.
And whereas I want to know about it so that we can fix it and not have that problem going forward. It may not be something I want to hear, but you have to get ahead of it. You have to fix it. You can't just let it go.
You have to address it.
Yep, that's right.
That's right.
So,
do you 5 years? Do you recall your retention rate of when you came in?
I don't know right offhand what the retention rate is, but I will tell you that we have probably the most experienced install crew in North Alabama. We have 2 installers that have more than 15 years of experience.
Wow.
And then 2 of the others, I think, that are right at around 10 years experience. And these are guys that enjoy the hours of being an installer, so they don't want to move to a service technician role, which is unusual. Most of the time someone wants to go through as an install and grow
to that.
Right, exactly. And but our service, from a service standpoint, our senior technicians experienced technicians, we've pretty much held on to them, and we've been able to pick up a couple more. I brought one guy up from Florida that's fantastic,
Right.
And our technicians, they've been with us for quite a while. I mean, I feel like all of them have been there since I started, but they haven't. They've been there for a few years.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's terrific. Well, another thing we think about with females in the HVAC industry, and that is my topic for the next couple of BCast. Have you noticed, or did you notice any stigma because you were female?
Yeah.
Either from internal or external?
Yeah.
Or both?
Yeah, and and I expected it, and I didn't go into it thinking, well, I'm going to be offended every time this happens. I think that some men in particular, and women do it as well, they do it without realizing they're making comments or whatever that may be degrading or whatever. But what's the funniest to me, and I get the biggest thrill out of it really, is when somebody comes in and they want to talk to the owner, and I go out and then they turn around and they say, no, I want to talk to the owner.
The real owner.
I am the owner. You're the owner? Yes, I am the owner. What can I help you with?
Yeah. Does the demeanor change a little bit?
It does. Well,
yeah, how about that?
Oh. So,
yeah.
But we see it, I'd say that stigma out on, we do commercial, bid spec, new construction. So you're out with your general contractors and such. You get out there on those job sites and you don't know what you're doing. Basically, out here, but okay. Well, I have people that do know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
I don't have to know everything that's going on out here, but I know more than what you think I do.
Right. It is tough. It's got to be tough because I am, a long time in this industry, and it is a male-dominated industry. But I do see more and more female ownership. And you go back to mergers and acquisitions, which is a part of our industry now as well, because there are companies who are just buying up HVAC companies.
Right.
They have little to no experience in HVAC. They just leave the management in place to continue the operations.
Right.
But when it comes to just females buying a business outright, like Brent and yourself did, that's just kind of tough, I think. It is. It's kind of different, especially in the South.
It is, but I think it's a good thing. You say in class all the time that it's a detailed business,
sure.
And it really is. And I feel like in most cases women are very detail oriented, and we know that if all of these things have to happen in order for this to work right, we have to make sure all of these little things are happening. Sure. We don't cut those corners. So I think that it's a good thing. And then we also tend to have a better idea from a customer service standpoint of what needs to happen. And with, with Google reviews, Facebook, social media, and all that stuff, it's more important than it ever has been. And that's really what I have to hammer into the guys that have been there for 25 plus years. Sure. Is that it's not like it was 25 years ago.
It's not.
If you don't do what you said you were going to do, the world is going to know about it within an hour.
Right.
So.
Or less. Yeah, that goes to the presses real fast now.
It does.
That's immediate. And I recall over the years always telling my technicians as well, it doesn't really matter, most of the people in residential that you're going to deal with are the female. So don't discount the fact that they're very smart and very detail oriented, and they are keeping score.
That's right.
And so often guys want to dismiss that, and big mistake.
Yeah,
big mistake.
And I'd say the ones that call us and complain are going to be more the females than they are the guys.
Sure.
The guys are just like, whatever. Just whatever.
Yeah, I'm kind of that way. I tell my wife Kathy, as he's contractor, just give him a break. And she says, no, don't give him a break, because he should be held to this standard. And so I do understand that. Couple more things. You've been published, right? You have an article And that was in the HVAC.
HVACR Business Management Magazine, I believe what it's called.
And you shared that article with me, and I read that. And it's on, I think, if I'm correct, the way that you have gone about building in some culture in Southern.
Right.
And that term is tribe culture.
Right.
Which you obtained. I'll let you tell everybody how you got that and where you were going with that, and sort of what sparked that in you. Where did you get that, and what caused you to move that direction? Culture is very important. We know that. What caused you to move that direction?
Well, like I had said with when we had that meeting, when we first took over, wanting to make some of those changes to benefits or things that would make people happy and want them to stay there. Brand and I had always been taken care of. I always felt like that our CEO and CFO had the best interests of all of their employees in mind when they were making any kind of decision. From a benefit standpoint, if someone was in a special need of whatever, they took care of it. There was no questions asked. And they all felt like family to me. I mean, the entire team, we had, 4,500 employees across the country, around the world.
Sure.
And I wanted that for this place. And I knew that was going to be a challenge because I had heard Brant talking about it long before we ever started talking about buying the place. When you have people that have been there for 30 years and they're set in their ways, it's very difficult to undo that. So I knew it was going to be a very slow process, but we would take baby steps. We would make small changes. Some of those we would not be successful. We would just back up and go, okay, scratch this and let's start over. But one of our comfort specialist salesman, whatever you want to call him, he recommended to me one day, he knew that I wanted to make this change.
Sure.
He had recommended to me a podcast, and I can't remember the name of it right offhand, but anyways, it was an interview of Gary Ridge. Has been the CEO of WD-40 for many, many, many years. And he talked about tribe culture, the importance of not necessarily everyone feeling like family, but that we all are here to work together for one common, outcome. We want to serve the customer to the very best of our ability. Chick-fil-A always comes to mind,
Sure.
And you can never accomplish that if you don't have everything in order in your house. So I knew we had to take care of that if I want to reach those goals. And so we just started making, small changes, Christmas party offsite with, some giveaways. Some of the things that Brandon and I had the previous been a part of in our past life. And they all seem to enjoy that. It's always been there inside the warehouse,
Sure.
The dinners and stuff like that.
Throw some tables out, some chairs, and
it is, and that's fine. I mean, that's nice. They're appreciative of the dinner, but I want them to let's go do something more. Let's get out of here because we're here every day. Let's get out of here. Random cards with some cash inside of it, thanking them specific thank yous for things they have done or changes we've noticed, just encouragement or whatever, just simple things. Sure. Of new T-shirts, stuff like that. I mean, just little things. This year we have had birthday gifts, anniversary gifts for everyone in their household. Make sure that we send something home with them. I'll admit that I forgot a couple of them. So I do have to flip the page of my paper calendar that I still keep. And if I don't do that, then I might miss something. But for the most part, we've called everyone, and those are well received. But we get the most feedback from the handwritten notes, thanking them. And they'll tell you the money part of it doesn't matter. This card is what has meant
Sure.
the most to me.
Right.
And that means a lot to me.
Sure.
I'm one that it makes me happy to think that I've made someone else happy, or made their day. So it just works its way around like that.
It does. It does.
The other thing is holding people accountable. That has not necessarily been the case in the past. It's difficult when you have half of your employees that are working out in the field with no supervision. You're just trusting that they're out there doing what they're supposed to be doing.
That's right.
So, we review things in-house a lot more than we did in the past. If a customer calls, has questions or complaints or praise or whatever it is, we try to get that back to the technician or the installer or whatever, so that if it's something we need to fix, we've gone over it, this is what we need to do going forward. If it's something they did great, let's make sure everybody knows about it, so that everyone can do this.
Right.
So those are kind of the changes that we're making. Baby steps, like I said, but I had the girl that interviewed me for that magazine, and I had told her, she had asked what my goal was for maybe 3 or 5 years, and I said, my goal is for people to look at our company as the Chick-fil-A of the HVAC industry. So I want the customer service piece of it to be so spot on that you think Chick-fil-A, Publix, something along those lines.
Right.
When you think of us. But we have to get all of that stuff in order in-house.
Right. And you've got a good start on it.
Yeah, I think so.
You've got a great grasp.
Yeah.
And it comes with time.
It does.
It comes with time and with effort and just for shoring up those details. And I've been fortunate to be a part of that culture before. And a lot of us came from the total opposite. We work like dogs, and we're never appreciated, and we get a paycheck, and that's about it. Don't get me wrong, that's what most people work for, but there was never anything else said. And I think in today's world, that culture is very important. When you have a technician who wants to jump in that truck and go please everybody that day and do his best job and do the best for the company, and protects the company along with protecting the customer,
that's right,
and keeps both of those people in mind, you've got a win-win scenario.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So.
And the technicians, the younger guys and gals that are coming into the industry, they don't want to work 70, 80 hours a week.
I know.
And that's fine. I get it. There has to be that work-life balance, and that is one of the things that we have tried to advertise. Is that work-life balance. When we have an installer opening or whatever, they're at the bottom. Do you enjoy being at home by 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever, spending time with your family? Because those guys, we try to work them 40 hours a week and nothing more. Now during the summer, maybe they work a few hours more. You pay them more per hour. Let's get more done during that 40-hour time period, and work smarter, not harder. So that they can spend time with their family.
Right.
So I think they appreciate that as well. I know I do. I don't want to work 90 hours a week.
Right.
People think, well, you own a business, you should work. No,
People think you
work
go in
smarter,
business.
not harder.
People think you go in business and you're gonna.
Yeah.
That's what it takes.
Yeah. No. In some way, some weeks, yeah, it feels like it, but for the most part, no.
Right. So that's going well. In your article, you mentioned some things that other things that you're doing. You're doing some things like you said probably most of it. You are just the recognition of each individually.
Right.
Not as a group. You got the group thing, and then you've got listen, I appreciate you, and that is something that just doesn't happen very often. Still to this day. Right. In our type of trades. Right.
It doesn't. This industry, I feel like gets a bad rap for how the employees are treated. In the construction industry as a whole, really.
Correct.
You get out there, we got to get it done. We got a schedule to meet. Everybody's going to stay until it's done.
Yeah.
There may be some of those days, but it doesn't always have to be like that.
It doesn't have to be the norm. You know, when I grew up, that was a lot of it was the norm. So what particular things, other than that, are you implementing? What is your office staff involved with this as well?
Yes.
Is this basically just you and Brad, or the entire staff?
No, I mean it's from top to bottom. You know, we have changes that we need to make from the time we answer the phone, the very first interaction with a potential customer, to the time we finished our job with that customer. From the questions we're asking them to help prepare a technician to make that process go smoother.
Right.
You know, I don't like some of the cheesy methods that these training companies will come in and try to get you to apply, because it's very salesy. And I don't want that. It is, and I don't want that. I want everyone to be genuine with what they're asking the customer. I'm getting this information as a nurse would get information for the doctor, so that he has everything in front of him and can have some sort of initial thought before he walks into that room to see you. It's no different. Well, it is kind of, but same concept for a technician.
It's very similar. It's about information, and again, it's a detail business.
It is.
And the more details you can give your technician, your installers, anyone in your office about any customer relationship, you know, even down to the name of the dog.
That's right.
Of the customer.
That's
that
right.
all helps, and it all adds to this tribe mentality and this culture way we take care of each other.
That's right.
Just sort of starting to finish up a little bit, just full disclosure again, you're in training.
I am.
In the HVAC training field, in basically the technician type training. And you've been doing that now for a while. And
Yes.
how's that going?
It's good. I've learned a lot. And I feel like it's proven out a lot of the things that I have questioned in my mind, but I was unable to back it up. So it's been good to be able to question those things with a little bit of ammo in my back pocket.
Sure.
So
And experience.
it is. It's been really good for me. I don't think that I would have taken as much away from it if I had come in here day one of us buying the company. I think being in that role and just getting familiar with some of the basic terms, because I'm not a technical person, I still to this day, but I have a much broader understanding of how these air conditioners work than I did before.
Well, I mean, rumor has it you've gone to a really excellent school.
Yes, I have. Had a fantastic teacher.
Really, they have just taught you a whole lot of hands-on about equipment things. So you mentioned earlier you're thinking about doing some ride-alongs with your technicians.
Yes.
Can you talk about that for a minute?
Yes. So one of the general manager for our train distributor had made a recommendation to me. I was talking about the disconnect between maybe dispatch and service technicians, or whoever, and he said, have you ever thought to put them in the other person's shoes for a day? And this was in the middle of the summer, and I was like, well, I can't do it in the middle of the summer. I mean, it's just everybody's too busy, can't do it. And it's like, you know what? That's the time to do it. That is the time to do it, because that's when it gets crazy, because the technicians don't understand completely what a dispatcher has to deal with, the things they go through up front to try to get everything to the technician. And the dispatcher doesn't understand everything the technicians have to do. They don't know what it's like to sit in the attic, when it's 150 degrees or 200 degrees, whatever it is, for extended periods of time.
1,000 degrees.
It is so hot, I'm dying. But they don't understand one another's roles. So after being in your class, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go out. I understand from a service ticket standpoint some of the details that I want on that, or that really need to be there. So I'm hoping to kind of catch some of that, and let's correct these things while I'm there. But I also want to see what their different methods are. I mean, we have seven service technicians.
Sure. Okay.
So starting with one of our senior technicians this Thursday, I'm going to ride with him all day. Now, he did come to me and say I may only make it with one service call with him. And I said, well, we might have to cut it short at lunch. So he has a very strong personality, but that's okay.
Well, you probably do too.
No. But so I'm hoping to learn from them, and I know that I will, from each and every one of them, even to the most what's the word I'm looking for, inexperienced technician that we have.
Sure.
There will be something that I take away from it that technician can add that these other technicians need to be doing.
Okay.
And so I'm looking forward to that. I've not done that before. I've been out to some of the sites,
and you have not really had a.
I've not said we're going. I'm riding with each and every one of you for a full day.
So it's time.
It's time.
It's time. And I know for a fact that you can apply a set of gauges. You can read superheating and subcooling. You can read diagnostics. You can do other things. And so it'd be interesting to find out when you ask the technician, so tell me your superheat, because I already know it, so you tell me. I see the reaction.
That's not what I'm getting.
It's got to be fun. I just calculated that differently.
That's right.
Yeah. So it's going to be really fun, and I think you're going to benefit a lot from it.
I think so.
It really does. And I think it goes back to tribe culture that, the owners are willing to get in the truck with me and do what I do.
Right.
And see what I do. And grab a greater appreciation for what I do every day for the company.
Right.
And they give you pointers, you give them pointers.
Right. Yeah. And I'm hoping that I'm able to add some little nugget of information. And I'm sure I will, whether it's useful or not. I'm sure I'll add a nugget.
Yeah. Well, there's no doubt about it. So just in closing, real quick, if you could sum up y'all's goal, you and Brant, your goal for Southern for the next 10 years. Do you have a 1 year, 5 year, 10 year? How do y'all do your planning? Sometimes it's just like get through today.
It is, yeah. Sometimes, a lot of times
we understand that. If you had to look out just a little bit, what would you see here in the next 5 years for say?
Well,
Southern?
that goes back to that customer service piece of how I want our name to be recognized as the most customer service oriented in the HVAC industry in Northeast Alabama. I think that we're much closer than any of our competitors, I feel like. But we still have a lot of work to do to get to where I want to be. My expectations are always high. You can ask anyone there. But I'm not there to just be mediocre. I didn't buy that place for us to just be another HVAC company hanging around. Like I said, the construction industry they don't have a good name in many different ways. One being that they're contractors. They'll never be here on time. They never here when they say they are. They never finish when they do. And so
they never finish on budget.
Exactly. So, and we have really worked to, if we say it's going to take us 2 days to do this job, it's going to take us 2 days to do this job. That might be where those guys are working a little bit over that day to get this done, because we promised them we'll be done.
You're going to finish.
If we tell them we're going to be there on a certain day, we're there on a certain day. Now, sometimes it's misunderstood or whatever, but for the most part, we try to communicate that as best we can. And on down the road, I'm not sure. My son is wanting to go to Auburn and get a degree in mechanical engineering. We're not sure which path he's going to take with mechanical engineering. He says he wants to come up and work with us, so I think that would be great if he could get that degree and then come over here to Huntsville and work with mechanical engineer, see what they do. We've already talked to a couple of them over here about him spending some time with them.
Right.
And then maybe down the road he ends up working for us. But we've told him, if you're coming up here to work, you have to start at the bottom. I don't, degree or no degree, you have to start at the bottom.
You have to start entry level, no matter what.
That's right. Not doing like I did. You don't just get to jump into the top.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you got to start from the.
So it would be much more beneficial to him to start.
I think it's always
Go all the way
a
through.
great policy to have everyone in the company be cross-chained. You know, everyone know everyone else's job.
That's right.
And I think the best technicians, I know for a fact, the best technicians available, period, in the market are those who also know how to install.
That's right.
Correctly, and can look at an installation and say, yeah, this is good or this is bad.
Yeah.
Those are your best technicians.
Agree.
And it's a wonderful business. I know that for a fact, and I know you and Brent are doing well in it. And I know there are those days y'all probably just go home and go, I want to cry.
Yeah, why did we do this?
Yeah, why didn't you talk me into this?
It's your fault.
Yeah, it's always. But as you go forward, best of luck.
Thank you.
And congratulations. I know it's maybe 5 years late congratulating you on buying the business, but welcome into the world of heating and air conditioning, ventilation, refrigeration. Do y'all do any refrigeration?
We do some.
Okay.
Yeah, we do
Okay.
some.
Okay.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Well, again, another big market there as well. But
That's right.
I appreciate your time. It's been great having you at B-Train as part of our family here, and look forward to continued relationship there.
Yep.
And
I've enjoyed it.
yeah, and tell Brent we said hey Brent. Maybe he'll watch. And anything we can do, let us know.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for having
Thank you,
me.
Miss Erica, for your time.
All right. Thank you.